Good evening. This is QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Kairaba Avenue, and I'm Asma Uba. Thanks for joining us here at the main news headlines. In preparation for the Tobaski Feast on the 16th of June 2024, the Gambia Transport Service Company GTSC is trying to better manage passenger journeys by issuing tickets in advance to passengers before they board. A delegation from the Global Fund visited Bansang Hospital on Saturday as part of efforts to assess the organization's investment in the Gambia's health sector. After a 6-day stay in Medina, Gambian pilgrims left for Mecca on Friday, where they performed their first tawaf at the Kaaba and also ran between the hills of Safa and Marwa. As the Holy Festival of Tobaski approaches, some women vendors at the Serekunda market are feeling the impact of not having their traditional winter window shopping event. Those and other stories coming up, so stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. Now, in preparation for the Tobaski Feast on the 16th of June 2024, the Gambia Transport Service Company GTSC is trying to better manage passenger journey by issuing tickets in advance to passengers before they board. QTV's Lolly M. Kamara spoke to the marketing officer and she filed this report.
The Gambia Transport Service Company GTSC is preparing for the upcoming Tobaski Feast in the Gambia. As the holiday approaches, the company is taking measures to ensure efficient transportation for those traveling to celebrate with family and friends. Modulamin Fati, the GTSC's marketing officer, explains.
It's a time for reunion. So that reunion, we make it possible for you by providing you the bus service. And everybody cannot be given a space at the same time. So what we do is to issue out boarding passes, and then people come and then collect them. On the day of their travel, they could just tender those boarding passes and their names would be called on the manifest, and they could have a safe and an experience, and an enjoyable ride to their families and celebrate Tobaski.
Extra buses will be added to accommodate the expected increase in passengers, and schedules will be adjusted accordingly. This proactive approach by GTSC shows their commitment to providing reliable and convenient transportation services during this important time for the people of the Gambia. Here is Mr. Fati again.
The boarding passes are in 3 colors. So we have white for Thursday, and then yellow for Friday, and Saturday is green. Why we did this color segregation is for easy identification. So that day on Thursday, everybody would have the same colored boarding pass to ensure that uniformity on that particular day. So if any other person that comes on Saturday with a white boarding pass, so it will be easy for us to actually tell the person that you should have traveled on Thursday. You can't travel today. Go through the Trans-Gambia Bridge, and go through Farafenni and go to Kunting. So we also have the Fode Kunda service. These are new additions that we have thought-wise as a result of the influx of buses that we have. But notwithstanding, the people in Basse would still be served. The people in Bansang, Mankamankunda, Jarasoma, Makati, everyone would be served. So we want to be nationwide this year.
Alaji Sima, a passenger, appreciates this move by the GTSC, but has some observations regarding this year's process.
This process is important because it will help us to travel easily without any hassle. I have been here since 7 a.m., but the staff said work will only commence at 9 a.m. So, within that time, a lot of people have arrived here. Some even think I work here because of the role I am playing in helping to ensure there are no problems in the queuing. From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. is too long a time to wait, so I advise people intending to travel to come and book to avoid delays.
According to officials, they are introducing this system to avoid long lines and potential overcrowding during this busy holiday season. By securing their tickets ahead of time, the company says this will ensure a smoother and more efficient travel experience for their customers traveling to enjoy this important festival with family and friends. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
A delegation from the Global Fund visited Bansang Hospital on Saturday as part of efforts to assess their organization's investment in the Gambia health sector. The visit spotlighted the Global Fund's support for critical interventions to strengthen the Gambia's health system. Mudulamin Choi traveled with the delegation and he filed this report.
A delegation from the Global Fund are in the Gambia ahead of a launching of a major grant on Tuesday of this week. Bansang General Hospital received officials of the Global Fund who are here to observe the impact of their investment in Gambia's health sector. As they moved from one ward to another, the Global Fund officials were briefed on the conditions at the hospital, including renovation work and its quality healthcare delivery needs. Ada Faye, the Chief Financial Officer of the Global Fund, heads the delegation.
When you come to these facilities, you come to the country thinking that you have delivered a lot. And then today I go back knowing that the job is far from over. The needs that we see in Bansang Hospital means that while we have to celebrate the great progress we have made in the last decade or two, the job is not finished.
A flagship project introduced to the Gambia's health system and funded by the Global Fund are medical oxygen plants in Bansang and EFSTH, the Gambia's main referral hospital in Banjul. The initiative was necessitated during the COVID-19 pandemic in the face of unprecedented demand and shortage of medical oxygen around the world. Dr. Masirinde Njai and Deborah Asante Lucie are the Chief Executive Officer of Bansang General Hospital and the Fund Portfolio Manager in the Gambia, respectively.
Since its inception in Bansang, we have produced about 721 cylinders, and we have been supplying other hospitals in the country. Not only Bansang is benefiting, but from Basse, Farafenye, Buyam, Kanifing, Bundung, and even Banjul, we are benefiting from the oxygen plant. Since the production, over 500 cylinders were supplied to various facilities, and Bansang has already consumed more than 100 cylinders in the hospital since its inception.
So I am happy to be here with senior management to see that the oxygen plant that we have installed in Bansang is the one that is supplying oxygen throughout the country. We also have an oxygen plant in Banjul that is currently being maintained. So we hope that that will be fixed, and then we will have expansion of the oxygen plants in the countries.
Installed within the Bansang Hospital complex, the oxygen plant ensures an uninterrupted supply of oxygen to hospitals and healthcare facilities. This is a lifeline in the treatment of various medical conditions, as it is essential for supporting patients in critical situations. Dr. Mamadou T. Nyasi is the Acting Director of Health Services.
Bansang used to spend at least a bottle of oxygen from Banjul Oxygens, 2,500 each bottle, and excluding the transportation. Now they have the oxygen plant within here. It is going to reduce the amount of cost, and they are even selling it, though at a lower price, but they are also gaining a little profit here.
The Global Fund delegation proceeded to a local community where villagers play a critical role in public sensitization to tuberculosis, malaria, and HIV and AIDS. The community residents took turn to highlight the impact of the Global Fund's investment in strengthening the health system in the region, including the prevention and treatment of diseases. Mahmoud Lamin Choy, QTV News.
After a 6-day stay in Medina, Gambian pilgrims left for Mecca on Friday, where they performed their first tawaf at the Kaaba and also ran between the hills of Safa and Marwa. Babouka Sise is in Mecca with Tiwawan Travel and Tours, and this is his report.
Pilgrims left Medina at around 3 p.m. Saudi Arabia time, which is 3 hours ahead of the Gambia. On this 12-hour journey, all pilgrims are dressed in white clothes, which signifies that in front of our Creator, there is no difference between the rich and the poor. The first stop for the pilgrims is at Dhul Hulaifa, 11 kilometers from Medina. Here, each pilgrim will pray 2 rakas and make the intention to perform Umrah.
Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Innal hamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak.
Upon arrival in Mecca, all pilgrims book into Al Manrat Hotel. At 9 a.m. on Saturday, they assembled outside, ready to perform the first tawaf at the Kaaba, which is surrounded by the great mosque, Masjidul Haram. As they marched towards the Kaaba, the rhythm of reciting Labbaika Allahumma Labbaika, praising and thanking Allah, the Creator, is evident. When they entered the Hajj and Umrah gate, in an anti-clockwise movement, they went round the Kaaba 7 times.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Rabbi ya Kabiru, ya Muqsitul, Azim, ala Sayyidina Muhammadin, wa ala alihi.
From Tawaf at the Kaaba, pilgrims then moved to Safa and Marwa and walk and run between 2 hills 7 times to commemorate the journey by Prophet Ibrahim's wife Hajara, who ran between the 2 hills to find water for her infant prophet Ismail.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Between Safa and Marwa is also where the well Zamzam is located, and first-time pilgrims will have the first taste of this miraculously generated water. After Safa and Marwa, a prayer session is held, making the end of Tawaful Qudum.
Alimun, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
The first tawaf is now done, and pilgrims will now have to wait until the 14th of June, which is the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, and congregate at Mina, the city of tents, which is the beginning of Hajj 2024. Babukar Sise, QTV News, Makatul Mukarram.
That story by Babukar Sise will take us now to a commercial break, but when we return, we have more stories for you. Don't go away.
Tubaski Fiesta! Celebrate this Tubaski with the biggest and the cheapest data and voice promo in the Gambia. Get social media bundles for all your favorite sites: Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, Snapchat, Telegram, and X for as low as $15 for 100 megabytes or $60 for 1 gigabyte. You can't beat that! Or buy the Kacha bundle and get 1 gigabyte data with unlimited voice calls for just $100 and stay connected with family, friends, and loved ones. Dial *343# and choose option 1 to subscribe. So rush now and be part of the Tubaski Fiesta with QCell. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell Senior Boss. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future, tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I'm Asma Uba. Now, as the holy festival of Tubaski approaches, some women vendors in the Serekunda market are feeling the impact of not having their traditional one-tier window shopping event. In an interview with QTV's Loliam Kamara, they called on the responsible authorities for support.
The annual pre-Tubaski market, where women display and sell their goods in a festive atmosphere, has been cancelled due to efforts by the government of the Gambia to clear our roads of any obstacles and make traffic hassle-free, especially in areas surrounding our markets, including Serekunda Market, which we visited. This has left some vendors frustrated as they rely on the one-tier event to boost their sales and make crucial earnings for their families during the holiday season. Here are Fatu Saho, Sose Keta, and Fatu Cham, all vendors at the Serekunda Market and affected by the move.
ay soldat mënu ñex ak mom We cannot fight with the security officers because I am aware of the rules imposed by the government. I have made my inquiries and I'm told the order is from the top. So I assumed they are referring to the president. For that reason, I am pleading with the government under the leadership of the president to allow us to sell just for this period. Our biggest problem is the wanted, but being it wanted or not, we are also in this market to make ends meet. We have nowhere to go except this market. We feed our families, pay school fees and take care of our parents from what we sell here. So stopping us from occupying our usual place will be tough on us. We all know our markets are small and we cannot all have space inside. Some have to be outside. So we are appealing to the government to help the women, because when we say voting, women form the majority. So let the president and his people come to our aid.
We also engaged the markets manager for Sarakunda, Modu Injai, on this issue.
Whatever we do, we want to do it in the interest of the vendors. I think if most of them can bear us witness that 2 days after the wanted, media houses were invited in the market, press conference was done, where vendors said they did not want wanted. And those who were saying that they don't want wanted were the very one occupying this street, because we did the allocation. But on the other side, this time around, there was a delegation that went to the council, the vendors committee. Some vendors, they said they don't want wanted to be organized by the council, which I am working under an administration. I work through policies and programs. If I want to organize, and the management have already given out their voice, based on the request of the vendors market committee and vendors within the market, which the council is representing, obviously we have to go by that. But again, some vendors came to my office 2 or 3 days ago and said they want wanted. But what I told them is, these are two factions. The other one said wanted. The other ones who said no wanted came out and said no wanted. But those who will also want wanted should have come out and said they want wanted.
The absence of wanted has also been felt by the community, who look forward to the lively and colorful event each year. These women vendors are calling on authorities to find a way to safely hold the event or provide alternative support for their businesses during these challenging times. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
At the ongoing 2024 population and housing census, despite some complaints and challenges, the process is going smoothly. Our NBR reporter was with some of the teams and he filed this report.
On the ongoing 2024 population and housing census, the North Bank region is divided into two Bara from Nyomi to Jokadu and Kerewan centers, which covers from Badibu to Sabasanjal. QTV went out to observe the process. We spoke to Sekou Touré, the supervisor of Team 6 EAS in Farafeni.
When we started a day before yesterday, so the problem that we encounter, I can't say we encounter a lot of problems because it is something new to many people. We had to introduce ourselves, who we are, and after all, they understand. So far, we haven't experienced much.
Another area visited was Sarakunda at Sabasanjal, where I met a team of census officials, supervisors, and enumerators as they embarked on their assignment. Manyima Diba is representing JBOS for the census operation, supervising Sabasanjal.
Currently, I use the main mode of transportation, which is the cars, but a lot of my supervisors use motorbikes, and some of them are using donkey carts to go to their enumeration areas.
According to her, the enumeration process is going smoothly, and enumerators are not encountering any problems with community members.
From this point, we're going to Ngen Sanja, so we're going to deal with most of the enumerators here at Sarakunda. Then we go to Ngen Sanja, deal with a few of the enumerators there, and then we go to Bambali. Then from there we head home. Then tomorrow we deal with another set of enumerators.
Lamin Diba of JBOS, overseeing the Kerewan Census Center from Badibu to Sabasanjal, threw light on the complaints raised by some people with regards to equipment and deployments within NBR.
we had our list of 374 or thereabout who attended our training in Kerawan for 12 days. And at the end of the 12 days, we conducted an assessment for them. In fact, at the Kerawan level, we had our old physical assessment, but then the assessment that determined who qualifies was a common one that all centers across the country had to implement.
He says it is normal that some will complain about the process, but there are those who fail to meet the criteria.
I have had series of several calls from people who have not made the final list, but they still kept calling. And I've heard stories from even their parents and their uncles calling me, telling me my child has, attended the training, but he or she is not deployed. Now, but then I ask them, did the person see his or her name on the final list? Because if they have not seen their names on the final list, it means they are not shortlisted.
The census of population is the entire process of collecting, analyzing, publishing, and disseminating data about the population and living quarters in a country. All the officials we spoke to made a point of stressing the need for the public to cooperate with the process to ensure its success. Don Williams, QTV News, North Bank Region.
The Gambia Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, PURA, is hosting the West Africa Telecommunication Regulators Assembly, WATRA, from June 10 to 13. The event focuses on regional collaboration, technological advancements, and best practice for connectivity and digital inclusion. Lena Igwenyeba reports.
West Africa Telecommunication Regulators Assembly, WATRA, collaborates with national telecoms regulatory authorities in 16 member states across West Africa to promote the adoption of regulations that stimulate investment in telecommunication infrastructure. These regulations aim to deliver more affordable communication services to more citizens, enable faster and more secure economic transactions, and facilitate wider and easier access to public services. This meeting aims to implement WATRA's 2024 plan by facilitating the operation of its 3 working groups focused on consumer access and experience, cybersecurity, and infrastructure development. Njogo Elba, Director General of PURA, expressed his delight at hosting the meeting and spoke on the theme, Enhancing Digital Transformation in West Africa, Strengthening Connectivity, Security, and Access.
We are honored by the trust placed in the Gambia to host this important meeting. By strengthening our connectivity infrastructure, we pave the way for increased collaboration, economic growth, and social development across our nations. Moreover, in an age where cybersecurity threats loom large, it is essential that we prioritize the security of our digital networks and systems. Only by working together can we build resilient defenses that safeguard our information and protect the privacy of our citizens. Access to digital technologies is not a luxury, but a fundamental right that must be extended to all. By enhancing access to affordable and reliable telecommunications services, we empower our people to participate fully in the digital economy and bridge the digital divide that separates us.
Lamin Kamara, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, highlighted how the meeting's theme aligns with the country's broadband policy and strategy and national development plan.
Coincidentally, the theme of this meeting perfectly aligns with the vision of our national broadband policy and strategy, which aimed at transforming the Gambia into a knowledge-based economy that thrives on accessible, secure, and high-speed broadband ecosystem within an open access regime. This is also aligned with the strategic objective of our recovery-focused National Development Plan, 2023 to 2027, which aims to transform the Gambia into a digital nation.
Over the next few days, participants will engage in discussions, exchange best practice, and explore innovative solutions to encourage African countries to promote and adopt the recommendations from the working groups. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Ebere Igwanyiba.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we have for you, but before we go, a recap of our news headlines. In preparation for the Tobaski Feast on the 16th of June 2024, the Gambia Transport Service Company GTSC is trying to better manage passenger journeys by issuing tickets in advance to passengers before they board. A delegation from the Global Fund visited Bansang Hospital on Saturday as part of efforts to assess their organization's investment in the Gambia's health sector. After a 6-day stay in Medina, Gambian pilgrims left for Makkah on Friday, where they performed their first tawaf at the Kaaba and also ran between the hills of Safa and Marwa. As the Holy Festival of Tobaski approaches, some women and vendors at the Serekunda market are feeling the impact of not having their traditional one-tail window shopping event. Well, that's all we have for you in this news bulletin. Join us again at 10 p.m. for more news. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your evening.